Have you ever considered thinking back when you was growing up, like in your 20s and 30s, and you said, if I knew back then what I know now, my whole life would be different. So what I'm thinking about, what would I tell my 20 and 30-year-old self to help you create a life that you always desired? Because I'm 55 now, and this is what I would tell my 20 and 30-year-old self. Let's get into it. The first thing I would tell my younger self, your money is on you. Your money is on you. Because when I first started working, I was like, man, I was so happy to get a job, and I wanted to go party, and took my friends out, and we celebrated, and it really didn't save nothing, but just spending. The money is on you, kid. You don't got to ask nobody for nothing. My father said, listen, don't ask nobody for nothing. You got to go out there and work for yourself. You got to make it happen. And I made it happen, but I didn't realize I had to make it happen for myself. I made it happen for myself because of the real reason nobody's going to save you. I'm speaking to my 20 and 30-year-old self. Nobody's going to save you. And since nobody's going to save you, you got to make that money because it's on you. Since nobody's going to save you, you got to make that thing work. Don't worry about your friends. You got to worry about all those things they're doing. They partying, they drinking, they smoking. But your money is on you. The second thing I would tell my younger self, you got to cut people off. Cut people off, because the main reason the money was on me, I had to cut people off. Because the people that I was hanging with, or the people that was trying to hang with me, their mind wasn't there. Their mind wasn't for the future. They wasn't future oriented. They were just living in the now. Let's go to the club. Yo, I was a club head. Those from New York know about the underground. Those from New York know about the rooftop. Those from New York know about Demarage. Yo, I was in the clubs, following everybody, instead of following myself with the mindset. You gotta make that money, but you can't have those people who don't have the same mindset. You got to be around like-minded individuals. That's why you got to cut some people off. If they're not going where you're going, leave them where they're at and keep on going. I had plans, I had goals, I had dreams. I want to make $1 million by the time I'm 40. But you can't make $1 million if you're going to the club every weekend. You can't make that $1 million if you're up there partying, drinking, smoking, and doing all this other stuff. No, you got to cut those people off. That's why I'm telling my 30 and 20-year-old self. The next thing you have to do to be financially fit, you got to have financial change in your life. Make that financial change. Because if you don't change your finances the way you was operating in them, it's not going to work. Because by the time you turn 30, 40, I'm 55 now. By the time you turn 40 and 50 and 60 years old, if you don't change then, you're going to be forced to change when you get to that age. Because if you don't prepare when you get older, you're going to be prepared when you get older. Let me explain that. Because by the time you get in your 50s and 60s and you didn't prepare in your 20s and 30s, you got to start all over again. If you don't have anything saved, you got to start hustling and start working and start trying to make these things work, because nobody's going to give you anything. Your money is on you. And since your money is on you, you got to make sure that money is working for you in your 20s and 30s instead of trying to get it to work while you're in your 50s and 60s. Social Security ain't going to take care of you. I know people in their 60s and 70s, they get $400 a month in Social Security. That ain't going to take care of you. That can't even buy you rent. They can't even buy you eggs today. You know how much eggs cost today? You can't even buy a dozen of eggs for $400. I'm only kidding. But look, on the real, you got to have that financial change while you in your 20s and 30s. Because compound interest will compound into something so great, you will say, man, I'm glad I started. I'm glad I started in my 20s and 30s. And if you haven't started in your 20s and 30s, and you just started now, the best time to start is now. Because you waited this long, the best time to start now. Because don't sit back and say, oh man, I wish I shoulda, coulda. Just say I'm starting now. Hashtag start now. Because I'm talking to my 20 and 30-year-old self. You just here listening to what I'm saying to myself. And if what I'm saying to myself is helping you, kickstart you, and you in your 20s and 30s, leave a comment in the comment section. Hashtag 20, hashtag 30. I don't care if you're 50 years old, hashtag 50. Because if you haven't started in your 20s and 30s, you can start right now. Because your financial health is your wealth. I'm explaining that. Your financial health is your wealth. Because if you're not healthy, you can't make no money. If you're not healthy, you're going to be paying so much money out to the doctors and the medicines. You got to keep yourself healthy. In your 20s and 30s, you got to keep yourself healthy. Yeah, I used to play basketball every day. I was playing football in high school. I was playing basketball. Playing, running up full court, hitting the ball. I couldn't dunk. I got a 2-inch vertical. I was slamming the ball on the ground with my 2-inch vertical. But anyway, you got to keep yourself healthy in your 20s and 30s. So when the time you get 50, 60, 70, they're going to say, man, you don't look like you 50. You don't look like you 60. You sure don't look like you 70. Your health is your wealth. I'm just talking to myself in my 20s and 30s. You just listening in on my conversation. If it's helping you, take what I'm about to tell you and what I'm telling you and take advantage of it. If you're in your 20s and 30s, let's take advantage of it, because I'm telling you. Another thing I would tell myself is focus on your money. And as you focus on your money, it will grow. Focus on your money and it will grow, because the thing that you focus on will expand. And if you're focusing on your money, that money will grow. How are you going to focus on your money? Tell your money you're giving it a mission. Tell your money that the money got to go back and make some more money. Bring some of your friends back. How do you do that? You give your money an assignment. How do you give your money an assignment? You can put it in a money market account. I'm putting $100 in there, and once you go in there, you better bring me back some of your friends, some of your cousins. Bring back 50s, bring back some 20s. Matter of fact, bring back some hundreds. So those triplets that you didn't know you was one of them, you know you was one of the triplets. You got 2 more hundreds out there that's waiting for you to go back and tell them, come back with me. And every time you come back, I'm going to send you back out on a mission. You on an assignment. Give your money an assignment. Because once it goes out, it has to come back. And when it comes back, it's going to bring people back. It's going to bring money back with you. And since it's going to bring money back with them, that's how you give the money an assignment. And another thing that I would tell my 20 and 30-year-old self, please make a financial plan. Please make a financial plan. Because the plan that I had when I was in my 20s and 30s, I'm going to make all this money I can, and I'm going to put it in the bank, and it's going to gain interest. That's the only thing I knew. Put the money in the bank. At the time, it was like maybe 2 or 3% interest. I'll put money in the bank and get interest. Then after a while, the interest rate went all the way down to 1%. Then it went down to 0.05%. Now, right now, how much interest rate you getting if you put money in the bank? 0.00001%. You put $10,000 in the bank. At the end of the year, you get $1.15. That math ain't mathing. That math doesn't make any sense. That's why you got to have a financial plan. It didn't take me that long after I got the age that I am now to realize there's more assets or financial assets out there that you can put money in that'll give you a decent return. Now you get 5-6% interest if you put in a specific money market, a growth money market account. You take the money out of the bank that's giving you 0.0001% interest and put that money into an interest-bearing account that's giving you 4 to 5 to 6% interest. It could be a money market. It could be a 401k. Put it in a stock. Whatever the case is, you got to have some type of plan. And that's what I'm telling my 20 and 30-year-old self. This is the plan that you have. Put your money to work for you instead of you working for money. That's another thing I tell myself. Put the money to work for you instead of you working for money. You can do some investments, buy a house, buy some stock. Many of you know, when I was 28, I bought a multi-family brownstone in the South Bronx. 28, I got a brownstone in the South Bronx. I want to be like Bill Cosby, got the brownstone, have a little party on top of the roof. That's what was my dream. But I bought the brownstone. And I was supposed to get a FHA loan to fix it up, but my credit was so jacked up. I had a 350 credit score, but they gave me the money to buy the house, but they didn't give me the money to fix it up. So I said I could live in the house, and I fixed it up little by little, but I didn't have the money. I couldn't afford to fix it up. Things was breaking down, the ceiling caved in, the heat wasn't working, the whole nine. It was a multi-family house, and I was the only one living in the house because nobody else was willing to rent an apartment because the apartment wasn't fixed up. I'm saying that to say this. I didn't have a financial plan. I had to go bankrupt. The foreclosed on the house, I had to go bankrupt because I didn't know what I was doing. That's why I'm saying, I tell my younger self, have a financial plan in place, because if you don't plan to win, you just planning to fail. So those are the things I would tell my younger self in my 20s and 30s. To have a financial, healthy life in my 50s and 60s, even the 70s, 80s. Because if you want to have a financial success, I want you to listen to what I just told you and implement it in your life. Because every little bit helps. And if I can help you a little bit, create that life worth living instead of living that life survival, I've done my job. But like I tell everybody, listen, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know where you at. Do you have a financial plan in place? Are you investing that money? Leave in the comment section. Are you making your money work for you, or are you working for your money? Leave the comment in the comment section. Because I want to help you grow your life as you grow your mindset. So I'm Anthony, my time. I tell everybody, this is my life. This is my experience. This is my time. God bless.